Hi everyone, it's Marcy here from Stampin' with Marcy. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Canada, and I want to thank you for joining me for my video today. Today I'm going to be creating a card, and the star of the card is the Seabed 3D embossing folder, as well as I'm pairing it with the seahorse stamp and then this tall seagrass from the Whale Done stamp set from the annual catalog. So this is the card we are going to be creating, and just look at this gorgeous folder. I absolutely love this embossing folder, and it just is amazing. So as you can see, we've got our seagrass and our seahorse as well. We've got it on the inside of the card. So please visit my blog. The link is in the comments below to get a complete list of measurements as well as the product links for purchasing any of these supplies that I have used. So this is, I've already embossed. I don't know if the camera is going to pick it up. This is the shimmery white cardstock that adds that extra little wow to the project. And I am going to bring in a piece, a scrap piece of paper, because we're going to be sponging and I want to protect my work surface. So my colors are terracotta tile, Calypso Coral, and Petal Pink. These colors look fabulous together. So let's get started. Okay, first is we'll open up all of our ink pads and then just set them aside so that we've got them ready. Okay. So I am starting with my terracotta tile, and let me just adjust here so that I can get in a camera view for you. Make sure you can see exactly what I'm doing. So I am taking my Stampin' sponge here and I am loading it up with my ink, stamping off, just to make sure that I'm getting in all of those nooks and crannies. All right, so I am starting at the bottom and I'm starting off, and I am in a circular motion bringing this onto my shimmery white cardstock. Now you can go as light or as heavy as you want, depending on the look you're going for. And sponging doesn't need to be a scary technique. It's actually very easy to do. It's just the more you do it, the more confidence you're going to get with doing it. And the trick is to really get a good layer of that ink down. Now I'm basically dividing this up into thirds, my cardstock here. So the bottom third is the darkest color. The middle is the next brightest, which would be the Calypso Coral, and the top is my Petal Pink. So I'm really applying a lot to get it really saturated and bringing it up a bit into that next section so that my colors can blend and kind of marry together. Okay, I think I like that depth, but I'm just going to set it aside. I think I like the depth of that, although right here I've got a bit of the white showing through, so add that piece of coral. There we go. So I'm just going to set that aside so that I don't accidentally stick my hand in it. And I have a whole stack of these pieces of printer paper. So now next I'm going to be going with my Calypso Coral, And I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to load that sponge up and then stamp off a bit so that I can make sure, and then kind of give it a little squiggly so that I'm making sure that I'm getting that ink into all the nooks and crannies. And then I'm going to start off the cardstock and bring it on circular motion across the front of this cardstock. And the fact that this is a 3D embossing folder means you have so much definition to the elements in it. So by applying the color this way, you're really getting that vibrant look to those sea elements. And I'm flipping it over so that I can get even ink definition on either side. And you can see it's really coming together now. And now I'm going to just bring it down a bit into that terracotta tile. And then, of course, I've brought it up a smidge so that I'm into that area that I'm going to have my petal pink. So I'm going to set that aside and bring in my petal pink now. And now I'm just going to flip that over and bring in a new sponge for the petal pink. Now I reuse my sponges. I don't have designated color sponges. I just wash them off in the sink. That way I don't have to have too many. Saves on space. All right. And this lightest color is going to take a little bit more to really get that deep, vibrant look. So you could change up these colors to whatever colors suit you. For my Whale Done class, I did a card similar to this, only using blues. So, and it was gorgeous. So I'm just bringing this down into here. And I do apologize for the noise in the background. Miss Buffy is down here with me, and she is all over the place today, getting into everything. So now I'm just bringing this down in to that Calypso coral area so that it's not a stark difference, that we've got kind of a ombre gradual, not a stark. Okay, here's that strip, here's that strip. All right, so, and then as the ink dries, it does change the tone of it a bit. So if I turn it so that I can see it face on, I think I like the intensity of that. So, and as you can see, I now have inky fingers, which means I've been having fun. All right, so I'm just going to take a rag that's off to the side and clean those fingers off. Now, we are going to move this off to the side just for a moment. I'm going to bring in my paper pierce mat, as well as my label. This label has been die cut from the Hippo and Friends. Let me just zoom you in a bit. The Hippo and Friends die set. So you may not be the animal lover or interested in the animal dies, but the label dies in this set are just wow. So I am stamping this right in the center. just like that, in my Calypso Coral. Okay, move that to the side, and now I'm going to bring in my cute little seahorse, and I'm going to ink it up, and then I'm going to do that pouncing technique that I have done before. I've got my Calypso Coral Stampin' Right marker and the brush tip end, and I am going to pounce that on here and there, just to add that bit of darkness, a little bit of depth and detail to my seahorse. Okay, so I'm going to breathe on it and to just moisten that ink that's been laid on there, and then we're just going to stamp this right here. And look at the effect that you get by doing that. Isn't that very cool? Okay, so now we're going to put our lid on our marker, move that off to the side, and then what I want to do is bring in my base. And let's just cover up some of my work surface here. I'm now going to bring in my clear Wink of Stella glitter brush. And look at, I've got two of them here. I'm just looking to see which one has more in it for splattering. So we're now going to splatter, even though you can see now, you can see the bit of the glitter from the shimmery white cardstock, but I want more. I want much more glitter. So I am taking, I better close this up. I don't want to get glitter in my ink pad. So I'm going to take my bone folder and my Wink of Stella, and I'm going to tap it. And I don't know how much I'm getting out of that. Let's see if this one here, or I've got a new one here. This should be better. Give that a squeeze to load that barrel. You can see when you squeeze, the glitter comes into the barrel here. So, oh, that's much better. Look at that. Oh, just gorgeous. Can you see that? I'm hoping the camera picks that up. Beautiful. Okay, and I want some on my label here. So I'm going to do the exact same thing. Okay, so close these up. And then bring in my base. Okay, move this out of the way, because we want our inside to be as pretty as the outside. So I'm going to bring in my card base, and I am going to do the same thing. I'm going to, oh, I need my foam, my paper pierce mat here. Bring that in. I'm going to stamp my seagrass at the very bottom right-hand corner, just like that. Close that ink pad up. Open up my Petal Pink. Ink up my seahorse yet again. bring in my marker, and I've got ink now all over my hand, and I'm just tapping. Let me just zoom in a bit more so you can see better. So I'm just tapping that on here and there around the outside, going on the jaw there. All right, so breathe on that and stamp it down there. And there we have the detailed seahorse. So pretty, so pretty. And let's actually, I didn't do it on my original, but let's just give a little bit of sparkle right here in the corner. Right there, can you see that? So lovely. All right, so now we're going to fold and burnish our card base. Bring in my silicone craft sheets, and let's glue our layers together. Zoom you back out. Okay, so putting the embossed and sponged shimmery white onto petal pink. Lift you up just a smidge here. That's better. I'm going to flip it over to really press down to get that glue to adhere. Okay, now put my liquid glue on the back. I know I have created an awful lot with this Well Done suite of products because I absolutely love it. I think it is such an amazing suite of products, and as you can see, this is not a child's card. This is definitely an adult, and I did not put any sentiment on it, so that way it could be used for whatever. And I can't get my, oh, there we go, my Seal Plus. I find that the liquid glue sometimes warps my vellum, so if I use Seal Plus on it to adhere my cardstock to it, I don't get that warping problem. So there we go. Now we need a few dimensionals to pop on the back here, one in the middle and one at either end. I need to wipe my hands off so I do not wreck my card. Okay, so I don't want it to sag on the sides, so I am adding a couple pieces on either side. Bring in my card, bring in my take your pick tool and pop off those backings. Easy peasy. Come on, that last one doesn't want to come. That last one, I'll have to peel off, but the rest are on here. All right, so pick that up place you right there. Lift it up to make sure I'm fairly straight. Okay, so now we're going to put let's put a champagne rhinestone there. I'm going to move my placement of them. One there, and then one up here. So it's just slightly different. And bring them in. Okay, so we've got one here, one here over my glue dots, or dots of glue, I should say, and one there. And there you have it. Move that out of the way. Here's my original, and here is the one I created with you. And let's just zoom in just slightly. I hope, let me bring that up close. Look at that gorgeous sparkle. So, and then of course we have the beautiful stamped inside. This one has Wink of Stella. This one does not. I like the Wink of Stella. I believe before I send this card off, I will add a touch of Wink of Stella to that one, just to make it pop a little bit more. So thank you for joining me today. If you haven't yet, please click that subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you do not miss any future videos from me. Leave me a comment. I love to hear from you and interact with you. And I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.